Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're comparing the iPhone 5S that just came out yesterday to, in my opinion, the king of the Android smartphones, the HTC One. I know there's going to be a debate between the S4, HTC One. I chose to get an HTC since I've been a fan of them for a long time. First, let's talk a bit about build quality. And when we take a look at these two phones, they look extremely similar. I want to say the HTC was inspired by the build of the iPhone. They both feel extremely premium, well crafted. That aluminum unibody design is fantastic. If we compare these phones to, say, the S4, which is just made out of plastic, these things blow that out of the water, which is definitely one of the main reasons why I opted to purchase an HTC. There are definitely a few differences. As you can see, the iPhone 5S has the speaker grills on the bottom, whereas the HTC One has them on the front, which means louder sound output, and the HTC One is the loudest smartphone I've heard to date. The biggest physical difference we'll see is definitely the screen size, the 4.7-inch found on the HTC compared to the 4-inch Retina found on the iPhone 5S. And screen size is of course subjective. It's really what you're using your phone for, what you feel comfortable with. Since I've transferred to Android about 2 years ago, I cannot fathom myself going back to an iPhone. The screen is just too small, but of course, as I mentioned, that is all subjective. With the release of iOS 7, you can see that the iPhone finally has some toggles to use, and that was one of the main reasons why I made the switch to Android. The customization is just crazy, but of course, operating systems are also really up to you. Of course, another big thing to consider is the camera. I was blown away by the iPhone 5S's camera capability. Make sure you guys check out my review on that. The HTC did have better low light, however, the 5S definitely takes the cake on the best camera out on the market. When we talk about loading times and speed, both of these are on top of their game. We're comparing a quad-core processor to the brand new A7/M7 chip. These things will blow games, apps out of the water. 3D gaming is a no-brainer, and you will definitely not be disappointed if you have either of these devices. With the introduction of iOS 7, multitasking has become a breeze and is extremely elegant on the iPhone. It's been that way the entire time for Android. And I want to say that iOS claimed to be the most simple and easy to use operating system. However, Android is just as simple and intuitive to me. As long as you take the time to have that learning curve and learn the operating system, both will become essentially second nature. When performing daily tasks such as texting, I have SwiftKey 4 installed on my HTC One, and that is currently my favorite keyboard. But of course, Apple has the stock iOS keyboard, which is the best stock keyboard that you can currently get. Web browsing is an absolute pleasure to use on both devices. Of course, the HTC One has slightly more real estate, easier to read. However, it's not a problem. Pinching to zoom on both is extremely fast, fluid. As I mentioned, both these processors will handle your daily tasks without any issues or problems. And of course, finally, we have apps to consider as we do use these the most on our smartphones. On iOS, we have the App Store, which has the largest selection of apps available. And for Android, we have the Google Play Store, which does have a slightly less number of apps, but of course, still an impressive amount. Of course, both platforms have the major apps available: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you find one on, say, the App Store, I can almost guarantee you'll find the exact same thing or something extremely similar found on the Play Store. And of course, that goes vice versa. We're not talking about, say, Windows Phone 8 or 8.5, whatever they have out now. Both of these app stores you'll be extremely pleased with. So as I said, it's of course personal preference. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below between the HTC One and the iPhone 5S. Personally, I've been won over by Android, and I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. I love the customization, but of course, if I had, say, the iPhone 5S or even the iPhone 5, I definitely wouldn't feel out of the loop since it is also a great phone. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I will catch you guys in my next video.